This is WA6LJS, standing by for the Air Force Flyers, top of the hour.
Good morning. This is Kilo 1, Bravo Oscar Bravo. Welcome to the Air Force's Flyers Club net. My name is Bob. I'll be your net controller. My location, 30 miles north of Boise, Idaho, in the Idaho West Central Mountains. We begin this net at 1500 UTC this time of year. You can see us on YouTube. If you go to K4YDB on the search engine on YouTube, you can see a streaming live video on the radio. It'll include NetLogger, the question of the day, and some pertinent pictures for today's subject and Air Force in general, and our pictures of our members. The Flyers Club consists of military aviation members, both active and retired, from all services air branches. We also very much like to welcome visitors to the net, and you do not need to be involved with the military or aviation to check in. Please visit our website. It's at www.airforcesflyers.org. That's Air Forces Flyers Club.org. Our net format is to go once down the initial check-in list and make a second call for check-ins, and then go to a 73 round to complete the net. Looks like we got a pretty short list today. Normally I'd say limit your comments to 2 minutes, but I think we got plenty of time today. This list is a half to full less than what we normally get here. I don't know why. Maybe it is that weather coming into Texas, as was mentioned. This is a directed net. To contact net control, please use the words contact, relay, info, or check-in. We have relay stations across the country. We're bound to pick you up one way or another. When you do check in, please give your call sign slowly and phonetically, followed by your name, location, and if you request an early out or not. We are on NetLogger under Air Force's Flyers Club, and currently we have, including myself, 11 on the list. And if you go to NetLogger, if you have that available, it's a good tool to know where you're at on the list and anticipate what's happening in your turn, etc. With that, I will go down the list as I have it this morning. Then I'll ask for any check-ins and any early outs and get a couple of relays in. This is K1BOB for the Flyers Club break. Okay, thus far I have on the list N5DE. You suddenly get to the top of the list from the bottom. Good morning, Lee. Thanks for cranking up NetLogger for John to run. And next after that, we have W2WLD. That is Captain Bill, one of our officers, and a net controller up in Upper State New York. Good morning to you, sir. In Hamul, we have John, our treasurer, our admissions officer, net control, and he does it all. NetLogger. WA6, LJS. Good morning again, John in Hamul. After that, we have W6, WAY, Corona, California. That would be Jim. I wonder how hot it is there. Probably not as hot as the other areas that have the fires going, Jim. Next, we have WB2JJO, Petersburg, New Jersey. That would be Ray. Good morning to you, Ray. I did hear you earlier. Next, in Las Cruces, New Mexico, we have Joe. Whiskey 5, Alpha Bravo India, W5 ABI. After that, we have Charles. He's in Cartersville, Georgia, and he is currently running that screen you see there. You may see him in there once in a while with a wonderful shirt on, if you notice. That's K4YDB. That's K4YDB, and thank you very much, Charles, for all you do and getting the question out there and the net there, the YouTube net, live stream rather. After that, we have in Sparks, Nevada, where it's pretty warm, Carl, or Sparky as we call him, KF7GJO. Good morning to you, sir. And after that, we have Brian. We do have a San Antonio station today, WB5DRI. He is a net controller on Saturdays, big day usually, and good morning to you, Brian. After that, we have W7AJN. That would be John, of course, in Peoria, Arizona, and a good morning to you, John. In Belton, Texas, we have Willie, KJ5BWB. Good morning, Willie. Good to have you there. With that, that's all I have on NetLogger this morning. And thanks, John, for maintaining it for us. And I'm going to ask for any other check-ins. Any other check-ins for the Air Force Flyers Club, please come now with your call sign, name, and location.
W5OG, I'm late, but I'm here, Bob.
Okay, I've got W5OG. Got you very light there on my receiver, but we do have you running remote. W5OG, you're on the list, Dale. Any other check-ins? Any other check-ins for the Air Force Flyers? Please come now. None else heard here. Let's go out to Upper State New York and ask W2WLD. Sir, would you give a call out, Bill?
Will go, Bob. W2WLD, Upstate New York. Relay for net control. For the Air Force and Flyers Club, we're taking check-ins, members or guests. Please call now. Nothing heard, Bob.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Nice signal. And let's go all the way out to the West Coast there and ask John. WA6LJS. Would you please give a call, John?
Wilco, this is WA6LJS relaying for net control for the Monday morning Air Force Flyers net. We're looking for check-ins, either members or visitors. Call now. All's quiet on the West Coast, Bob. Back to net.
Okay, John, thank you very much. And let's see, that's our list as we have it. I'll make one more call out for any other check-ins. Please come now. Nothing heard. Does anybody on today's list that's on today's list, does anyone need to be an early out? Any early outs before we begin the net? Okay, if you just got on, you can check in anytime. When you can get a word in edgewise, just say check in, and we'll get you on the list if you just turned on late. With that, this is K4YDB. I do have a question for today. I see Charlie has it up on the live stream there. That looks good. I think I'll just give this one question for the day here, and I'll give it to you over the radio here. After I give this question, if you have any questions on it, I'll ask and just come back, and I can reiterate any of it. Here is today's question of the day. Which of these items would you not expect to find in the F-111E cockpit? Which of these items I'm going to list, there'll be a few of them, would you not expect to find in the F-111E cockpit? Statement A, 2 metal insulated thermoses. 2 metal insulated thermoses. There's 2 in the crew, you know. Okay, answer Bravo, a check wing sweep caution lamp. Check wing sweep yellow caution lamp, which usually sets off a master red warning lamp. So answer B is a check wing speed caution lamp. Answer Charlie, a bilge pump and flotation bag pump all in one. A bilge and flotation bag pump. Statement Charlie, a bilge and flotation bag pump. Yeah, that capsule can land in the water. Okay, answer Delta. Statement Delta. Would you expect to see nuclear blast curtains? Would you expect to see nuclear blast curtains? Answer Echo. Would you expect to see a VHF aviation radio? Would you expect to see a VHF radio? That's Victor Hotel Foxtrot radio. And final statement is, would you expect to see a nuclear consent switch in the F-111E? Would you expect to see a nuclear consent switch in the F-111E? Well, there you have the question of the day. Have fun with it. There's no losers in this, trust me. And it may not be that easy. I don't know. I never know. So there's more than one fault. There's more than one you would not expect to see there. Does anybody need me to repeat any part of that? Okay, well, we're going to begin with the net. Are there any late check-ins? Any late check-ins? Please come now. Nothing heard. Well, we're going to go right to the top of the list, and that is Leon. I can see you got YouTube on there. Leon, what are you looking up? N5CE. Good morning, Lee.
K1BOB, N5BE. I have two comments. One, Bob, I'm so traumatized over your question last year about how many segment lights are on the F-111 annunciator panel. I think the answer was 57. Oh my gosh. And my other comment is all nuclear bomber configuration, cockpit configuration, have been contaminated in my mind by the movie Dr. Strangelove. So, I know Slim Pickens had he had a thermos in that B-52. So, I would think that the dining hall would make you some thermoses for those long missions. So I'm gonna guess. I have no idea. I'm gonna guess. I don't remember seeing nuclear blast curtains in the 111. They may have been there, but the cockpit didn't look like it lent itself to that. I may be wrong. VHF radio is the other one I'm iffy on. I don't know why you would need one relative to the aircraft's mission, unless you needed one in the States. So I don't know. So I'm going to go with Delta and Echo because I have no clue. So 57 segment lights. K1BOB, N5BE.
Okay, very good, Lee. You don't think it has a VHF radio? Okay. Well, it had both a conventional mission and a nuclear mission. It had both conventional circuitry in the S-111E, and it had nuclear circuitry, obviously, because you all know we sat alert. And, I was going to give a bonus question today just for you, Lee. It would have been how many external antennas on an F-111 typically? I'll save that for another day. All right, Lee, thank you very much. Thanks for starting the logger. Let's go out to Scotia, New York. That would be Captain Bill, W2WLD. Good morning, Bill.
Yeah, good morning, Bob. Good morning, all. Propagation not too bad today. Sunny and 91 today. Well, let's see. When this net list was being established, I started out as number 6 or number 7, with plenty of room to hear other people's answers. But I got abandoned, and people kept diving for the bottom of the list. So here I am, number 2 behind Lee. So what I'm going to do, and I'll warn people, like I know Ray tends to copy my answer. Ray, I'm purposely giving the wrong answer here, so don't follow my cue. I'm going to say I think Bob got his flying and his sailing mixed up when he put Charlie in there, a bilge pump. Not sure why you'd have one of those on an F-111. And I too think it's probably the VHF radio. I'm not sure why, but I think maybe they would want to deal with UHF only. So, put me down for Charlie and Echo, please. K1BOB, W2WLD.
Roger that. Charlie and Echo. Very good, Bill. Good explanation there. And, I don't know. I think some people are paying off Leon to get to the top of the list there. Or to get to the bottom of the list, so you got moved up, I guess. Oh, well, I guess we should take them as maybe some people linger right to the very end, don't they? So they get on the bottom of the list. I don't know. All is fair, I guess. But I know Leon's got a big bank account now, along with John. All right, Bill, we'll move on here. Charlie and Echo. Let's go to Hamul, WA6LJS. What do you think, John?
Okay, thanks, Bob. The K1BOB, WA6LJS. Boy, you took a dive here. I'm having to use the SDR to hear you for some reason, but that's par for the course. You'll probably be 30 over in the next 10 minutes. Good morning, everybody. This is WA6LJS in sunny Hamul, California, where we've got plenty of sun, clear blue sky, and it's going to be up probably close to 90 or more again today. We're still expecting the heat wave to stay for all the way till Thursday, I think. Let's see. Good question today. Well, I'm not sure, but I know the B-52 had the blast curtains, so but I don't know. I'm not familiar that you had it in the F-111, and I would think that B-52 after dropping a bomb would take a little bit of time to get out of the area. But I think in the F-111 you could leave pretty quick, turn around if you did drop a nuke. So I'm going to say you didn't need them on the F-111. So put me down for D Delta, the nuclear blast curtains. And I'll be here to the bottom. K1BOB, WA6LJS.
Okay, very good, John. Copy that. Let me turn the SDR off here. You're coming in great into Lumpkin, and get you down as, put yourself down for what you want to be there. I think it was the blast curtains. Leon has a lot of effect on people at times, so I'd probably give a few hints as we go down the list here to make it a little bit more fair in some ways. I don't know. The F-111E did have a nuclear mission, John, and it probably would have happened when a lot of airplanes were doing the same thing. So no blast wouldn't affect an F-111 because we'd be turned around in the opposite direction or continuing straight ahead and then making a large turn miles later around after the flash had subsided. You might be right on that. I don't know. No more hints. Let's move on and say thanks to John for doing that logger and taking it over. And let's go to W6WAY, Jim in Corona. Good morning, sir. You're up, Jim. W6WAY, Jim in Corona. You're up, Jim.
And let's see.
He's talking.
Okay, I guess you're not talking enough. Anyway, let's see, it's 69 degrees, and okay, I hear myself on K4YDB, and I hear myself on FCR. But anyway, it's going to warm up to 95 today, and can you get more than one on the question? Because I think they're all false. Anyway, that's my guess. W6WAY.
Okay, Jim. I've got you very good here. You're better. You're coming in an S7, much better than John down there south. Yeah, for some reason. And yes, there's more than one answer. There is more than one answer, and you can give all of them if you wish. As they say on TV, is that your final answer? All of them?
Yes, all of them.
Okay, very good, Jim. Got all of them. Nice, strong signal now. And very good. Yeah, they can all be wrong. There's no doubt about that. Okay, we're going to move on from Corona to Petersburg. New Jersey, WB2, JJO, or all the people that are coming out to the beaches. Good morning, Ray. You're up, sir.
Good morning, Bob. K1BOB from WB2JJO. Well, good morning to you and all the flyers on the net. We have a good 86 degrees here, 77% humidity, and it's definitely a beautiful beach day here in what do you call, I want to say Cape May County. That's where we're at. So anyway, and thank you, Captain Bill, for giving me the heads up on that. So I won't follow your lead. But Bob, this is a good one. I really like this one. And you know what? My answers are going to be Charlie, Delta, and Echo. Charlie, Delta, and Echo. You probably don't have a VHF radio, but I bet you 10 to 1 in your top pocket you got a Bofang in there for 2 meters and 440. So I'm just going to say it just what the pilot carries on there. But I'm going to go with Charlie, Delta, and Echo. And I don't know too much about what's on the F-111, but this is a fun question, and I like it. So, Bob, back over to you, sir. K4YDB from, oh, by the way, I just want to let you know, on the electric radio, you're 5x7 here. Good copy on the radio. K4YDB, WB2JJO.
WB2JJO. Ray, very good on that. Yeah, you're in 6 to a 7 here. Very good signal, and I'm not aimed at you, just aimed down to Georgia, I think. So that's your answers as Charlie, Delta, and Echo. Charlie, Delta, and Echo. And I'll add one more thing to the pot. The aircraft also had a UHF radio, probably the primary radio, and it had an HF radio, so I could talk on ham bands, but not 2 meters. And we used to talk on Channel 19, believe it or not, AM, just like your car CB radio, believe it or not. And occasionally we'd get a truck driver. Okay, Ray, well, we're going to move on. And let's see, the next on the list is W5ABI in Las Cruces. Joe, what do you think about all this?
K1DOB, W5ABI. Yeah, signals are really bad this morning. Between an S5 and an S7. Sometimes I have to use the FDR, but I got you. Anyhow, you throw a monkey wrench into that statement. Let me see. I worked on the programs for the carrier and for the planes, and they were all UHF. And so I chose Echo. And I didn't know they had VHF. We didn't have any that I know of on our ship on the Hancock. That was during Vietnam, and that was long, long ago. So I'm going to stick with Echo, because that's all I know. Anyhow, thanks for running the net. We'll be here at the bottom, Bob. K1DOB, W5ABI.
W5ABI, good. Copy on you about the same there, Joe. Got all that, and your answer is Echo. No VHF radio. Well, I know there have been quite a few jets that had VHF radio, especially when they do air-to-ground work for the Army, I think. And I think the TAC A-37 and some of the attack jets have that. But we will see. And here is Charlie, streaming on YouTube, K4YDB. Good morning, Charlie. You're up for the net, sir.
K1BOB, K4YDB. Well, good morning, Bob. Morning to all the flyers out there. I hope everybody's having a great morning. Right now, it's about 88 degrees here already. Supposed to get up to the mid-90s today, and there's supposed to be like a 50% chance of rain. That's what they've been saying every afternoon, but we're not getting any rain. Good news is all the stuff that I need to do up on the roof is done, so I don't have to get up on the old tin roof anymore for a while. I hope, anyway, unless I run into another problem. But yesterday the sun didn't come out until about noon, so that gave me an opportunity to get everything taken care of. Willie passed along his 73s, by the way, and his answer was going to be Alpha. And James just checked in, he said good morning to everybody. He's at the VA clinic. He's getting some lab work done. So anyway, he's listening out. But as far as the question goes, well, there's one problem. I can't Charlie out twice on this one, can I? All right, put me down for Charlie. I don't know. Charlie, and what is that one? That one is that one. Okay, put me down for what he said. Charlie and Echo. K4YDB, back to net.
Okay, Charlie. Charlie says it's Charlie and Echo. Charlie has a Charlie and Echo. Thanks again for running the YouTube stream there, Charlie. And we do have a cockpit of an F-111. I can't tell if it's the F-111E or the F-111A. which are the two models I flew. By the way, the F-111A was stationed, and it was where the remote training unit was in Mountain Home, Idaho, not far from here. That's where I had my learned to fly it and had my first 3-year tour. Then you go overseas, usually, to the F-111E in England, Upper Heyford, England, during the Cold War, and you learn more of the nuclear stuff. And the aircraft F-111E in England was equipped to drop nuclear weapons and conventional weapons. We do both. Beginning of the war, probably conventional, and if it rose to the event of using nukes, that's what we did. We sat alert over there with 4 aircraft. Okay, thank you, Charlie. Next, we're going to go to Sparks, Nevada. I may need a relay. I'm going to try to pick you up. Sometimes I get you direct, Carl. Sometimes I don't. We'll see what happens here. I'll try to get you on one of the remote SCRs. K1BOB, KF7GJO.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is KF7GJO here, and yeah, I'm only listening to Utah this morning, so you're kind of scratchy and garbled this morning. I can make you out, but anyway, yeah, I had set another new high temperature record yesterday. I think it was 107, and we're looking at 100 plus for the next 7 days, and then we should get below 90. The weather adjuster last night on TV was making a big thing of that, only 90s, and we're looking forward to it. Well, that's an interesting question, and doggone it, I wish I could say that I had an opportunity to fly in the right seat of a 111, but that never happened. Which one would I not expect to find in that cockpit? I would not expect to find a VHF radio. Answer number E. And I know some military aircraft, tactical military aircraft, had them, but I can't imagine that being in that airplane. So I'm going to go with E and take my chances on that. The glass curtain, as I recall, that airplane, the 111, was intended, that was one of the intentions for the airplane, was to drop nukes. I may be way off base on that one, but I've got to include glass curtains as one of the items you would find in that cockpit. So the others, milk pump, well, hey, that thing launches a capsule in an ejection, so if that came down in the water, you may very well need a pump to stay dry in there. So I'm going to go with E, and we'll see how it turns out. So if I need a relay, somebody give him E. Edward for me. So back to you, Bob. K1BOB, KF7GJO.
Okay, Carl, copied all that perfectly. I'm lumping nothing here, though, just too short a distance there. And I copied your answer as Echo. Answer Echo. There's something about that VHF radio. Gotcha. All right, and good comments there, Carl. Next, let's go to Texas Station. I'm told Willie dropped out down in Belton. No, we're going to go to Brian in San Antonio now. WB5, DRI. Good morning, Brian. Glad to have you with us this morning. You're up, sir.
Okay, Bob, K1BOB and the net. This is WB5DRI, Brian, down here in San Antonio. Well, good morning, Bob, and good morning to all the flyers and to the net. We thought we might get a little rain down here in San Antonio, but it just gave us enough to just wet the ground a little bit at my house. I wish we could get a little bit more. Maybe we will, but I know that storm went
well east of us, and looks like Houston is going to be the beneficiary of a lot of rain in the areas around there. But they'll probably have a lot more than they really want. But it's a shame we can't spread that stuff out a little bit. But anyway, it's going to be a cooler day here in San Antonio. We're about 80 right now, and I think our low is about 77, and we're only going to be up to about 95 today. So we'll take it. But good to be back on the net here. I just got back a little while ago from taking one of my grandsons to his school for his strength and conditioning football conditioning training. So just did that this morning to help out my youngest son, who's actually on business over in the UK. So he's in a very interesting place and doing some work overseas. He gets to go quite often now in his job with his company. He's kind of a director of training for his company. Anyway, on your question, Bob, good question about the F-111. I wish I could remember all this stuff. I think you've talked about some of it in the past. So it's kind of hard for me to tell exactly which of these is the right answer here. I guess I'll go with, let's see, Delta and Echo and see how that comes out. I'm kind of surprised that they don't have a VHF radio, but I guess that's a possibility. So anyway, we'll see how that goes, and thanks for getting me in there this morning, Bob. And back to you. K4YDB, WB5DRI, back to net. Good day, everybody.
Okay, Brian, always a pleasure having you there and talking to you when you're running the net. And I've got you down for answer Delta and Echo. Maybe a little learning off everybody else on that. Well, a good intel officer would do that, of course, and Brian was one. But we can't talk about it, or he might have to shoot you. Okay, let's go out to Peoria, and that would be W7AJN. How warm is it, John? You're up, sir.
K1VOB, W7AJN. How warm is it? Well, it is 94 right now. Going up to 115 today. I think we're going to break any records today, but the 115 is the projected high. Real good. Really enjoyed that. I'll just back to the fall factor. Charlie, Delta, would not be found in the cockpit.
Okay, John, thank you. I think W2WLD said Charlie and Echo. Get you down for Charlie, Delta, and Echo. Is that correct? Yeah, Roger. Thank you. Very good, John. Thank you for the report. And next, let's see. We're going to skip Willie. He had to get on there, but by the way, Willie's answer was Alpha. That was passed on to me. Willie's answer, WJ5BWB, his answer was Alpha. Okay, next, let's try W5OG. That's our Vice Commander Dale up camping somewhere, South Dakota. And that's the ranch. So very good. Hope to hear you here. I got you a little light before because I think you got your antenna aimed north. Oh, what a huge difference it makes, Dale. I don't even know if you can rotate it remotely anymore. But go ahead. W5OG, you're up, sir.
Well, yes, Bob, I can rotate it remotely, and I do have it out to the east actually right now. So you're kind of off the back and a little bit off the side, but I can hear you better, I think. Well, I'm just only on the SDR number 2 right now, but I do hear you there a little bit, but better on the on my local radio at home. Yeah, and we are in South Dakota at Hart Ranch, which is in the edge of the Black Hills, just outside of Rapid City, enjoying the cool temperatures and very pleasant summer so far. And as far as your question, I don't know about the 2 metal insulated thermoses. I struggled with that one. Considering the mission of the airplane and all, I guess it's certainly a possibility that would have been included as. How would you maintain that? It's kind of an individual thing. I'm gonna say A is not. You would not find that. You may be tricking us here. I don't even know if they had cup holders or not. So. But I'm also going to go with the, from what everybody else has said, that nuclear blast curtains probably would not be, you could point at the other. I don't know. I tell you what, put me down for I know it doesn't, I think very strongly that it does not have a VHF radio. So put me down for Alpha, Delta, and Echo. And we'll go with that. ADE. I don't think it has a nuclear. I don't see them in the picture there. So, but it could be out of the side of the picture. I don't know. I know the B-52 had a nuclear blast curtain, but it was a little bit different kind of a delivery method. But still, it's very likely that you could have one, depending. Well, I just don't know. All right, Alpha, Delta, Echo, and I'll stick with that. And I've blattered on enough there about thinking out loud. I'm sorry I was late getting in this morning. I was out walking the dog, talking to neighbors, and enjoying the beautiful weather here. And I'm watching the storm go up toward Mineola there at home. And last I saw, the lightning was about 100 miles away, so I may be shutting the radios down here just shortly as it approaches. Back to you, Bob, the K4YDB, W5OG.
Okay, Dale, copy that on Lumpkin, and got you down for Alpha, Delta, and Echo. You're on record for Alpha, Delta, and Echo. You would not expect to see in an F-111E cockpit. Very good. Thanks. Enjoy the trip up there. And let's see. Let's move to Belton, Texas. That is James, and he is received only. Good morning to you, James. We'll give you a wing rack romp as we fly by your house. Next, let's see. Michael, and Floyd, is it Iowa? K0MJZ. K0MJZ. Are you there, Michael? Okay, one more time for K0MJC, who's showing on NetLogger. That's Michael. Go ahead, Michael. What you got for the Air Force Flyer? Okay, nothing heard there. Let's try, I know he'll be here. That's Art. WX7, Lima Lima. WX7, Lima Lima. Good morning, Art. You're up, sir. WX7, Lima Lima. Art, are you there?
WX7 Lima Lima, you're up, Art. WA6LJS relay. No, I don't hear anything but a tuner upper, Bob.
Okay, Art, the idea was to select the ones you would not expect to see. So select the ones you would not expect to see in an F-111E cockpit. And I think your answer is Charlie at this point. Would you care to change that? Okay, nothing heard. I guess Art got in there a little late, and he's probably in and out. So, Art, thank you for checking in today. We will have a 73 round, no doubt. And let's go to, I'm not sure where Clifford's at, to maybe head home. W5PIX, Clifford, W5PIX. Uncle Cliff, good morning, sir. W5PIX, Clifford, you there?
W5PIX, you're up, Cliff. Now, nothing heard, and he's usually pretty strong.
John, did you copy anything?
Negative, over.
Try that one more time. Okay, John, I can't copy you now. You went right down way below my noise level, and I can't pick you up on Lumpkin either there, John, if you can hear me. So I did not get Clifford. One more time for Cliff. W5PIX, K1BOB. I'll need a relay. I can't copy him.
Yeah. The band went south, Bob.
It sure did. I'm imagining I hear something in there way down. Cliff, if that was you, sorry. I don't understand that. You must be at home. Maybe not. Maybe you're trying to from your truck, your new truck, your new plastic truck. I don't know. So sorry about that. This is K1BOB with disintegrating short distance skip right now. And long, it appears. I don't think so, though. And not entirely. I'm not hearing stations I normally hear very well. So let's see. Did I miss anybody on today's list? Have I missed anybody on today's list? Please come in. Okay, I heard a very light station. John, did you copy him?
No, I couldn't hear anything, over.
Okay, sir, conditions have just gone to heck, and I'm sorry I can't copy you. Give it one more try. Give it one more try, though.
Whiskey Bravo 9, Charlie Sierra Papa. Whiskey Bravo 9, Charlie Sierra Papa.
Is that Chicago? That's what, Chicago Pizza, is that you? Okay, Rich, we've got you, but not very well from Paris, Texas there. So, WB9, Charlie Sierra Papa. Rich, did you get today's question?
It's Richard. If you're able to hear me all right. I'm South Portable, Michigan. Portable, Michigan.
Okay, copy, you're up in Michigan still. Very good, Richard. And we came in late for the net, and you're just copying. So, well, thanks for checking in with us there, Rich. And we're going to go to a 73 round after I give the answer to the question. Let's see, we have another check-in on Echolink. That's Byron in Decatur, Alabama. KN4 PHS. Byron, what you got for the Air Force Flyers? Is that what you use for a first name, or do you have a nickname? Kilo November 4, Papa Hotel Sierra. Are you there, Byron?
Relay.
Okay, I entirely lost you there, Byron. I'm imagining I hear you now, but I did hear you. There's a couple of things you said there. Just not good enough to copy you, Byron. Sorry about that. Conditions are really going to heck. KN4PHS, thanks for checking in, Byron. I'm sorry, I just can't make you out anymore there due to conditions. Okay, this is K1BOB. Did I miss anybody on the list? I'll get the answer to the question.
Bob, I've got Byron if you want to bring him in.
Oh, you got Byron, Bill. Okay, W2WOB, would you please bring in KN4PHS? Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Good morning, Byron. You got a beautiful signal in upstate New York. KN4PHS. So what do you have for the Air Force's Flyers Club net? Over. Well, you're 20 over into upstate New York, so break. Bob, he was just looking for somebody because conditions are so bad, but he's monitoring. K1BOB, W2WLD.
Very good, Bill. Thank you. Well, I got him that time. It came up. The fire and the wire worked there, Byron. So, well, thank you for checking in with us. Appreciate that. Please drop in again. We start at 1500 every day of the year. Air Force Flyers Club net. With that, that's the bottom of my list. And let me turn my link down here. Okay, sorry about that. Interferes with my mic here when the echo link comes up. Turned up to the left, so that won't happen. Here it is. Here is K1BOB, and here is the answer to today's question. Which of these items would you not expect to find in the F-111E cockpit? Which of these items would you not expect to find in the F-111E cockpit? First answer, Alpha was 2 metal insulated thermoses. The more I thought about this, I am absolutely positive we had those in the A model. And I do believe we had those in the E model over at Upper Hayford. I would have given you credit either way for that, because I did specify E model, which was the European version of the F-111 for a nuclear war and conventional. So I'll give you credit for both, so that's a push. If anyone answered it, that's good. That was kind of my desired answer. But the more I thought about it, I couldn't find a picture with it or any references whatsoever in any of my material that we did, in fact, have one. What do I do know? I think we did, though. What we do know is that they never got used, and there was no support with those things. We had no idea what was in them, and they were a little hard to get to. There was one metal Stanley thermos above behind each seat above it, and it was difficult to get to. You probably had to take the upper part of your harness to get to it. And I don't remember ever using one. We carried our own water bottles, and that was just fine. Maybe we used one going across the pond from New Hampshire to England. That would have been the only time you really had time to use one of those things. So that answer was a push. It's probably true, though. Bravo was false. I would have wished we had a check link sweet caution light, because you had no idea. It was very hard to see in the right seat. Excuse me a moment, break. There was a Max Mach assembly bar, which was part of the vertical tape for speed, and some other information, Mach information. And that gave a pilot a bit of a clue, but I could see what the wing sweep was from my side of the seat, like with a new suit. So I always had to monitor that. The only indication that you would start to get would be your alpha getting too high. If you get up to 25 alpha on your alpha meter there, you're going to stall the aircraft, and there's usually no recovery unless you're above 30,000 feet, and we never flew that high. So alpha was false. There is no check wing sweep caution lamp. I would have liked to have had one and have it there for dumb right seaters that weren't smart enough to look over there and take responsibility for flying the jet too, along with the pilot. Charlie, a bilge and flotation pump bag. Yes, there was. It was built in. It was in the cockpit, basically, and it was designed to land on the water. It did have flotation bags also. To use this bilge pump, there was a pin on at the bottom of the pilot stick, the flying stick. You took that pin out, and that stick could go forward and back. One direction put water overboard, if there was any, and the other direction, the flotation bag pump would increase flotation to a max, and then if you went over that, it would release the pressure automatically so you'd stay safe. So answer Charlie was absolutely true. It's in there. I ever use it? Nope. People in a water situation use it. There were other devices that try to get out of the capsule at that point, like flotation bags, and you could control your flotation by a bag on the right and the bag on the left. Okay, long story. There's a lot to that capsule. We'll get into it again another time. Answer Delta. Answer Delta was nuclear blast curtains. Yes, the F-111E had nuclear blast curtains. It wasn't for the blast as much, but it was It was for the flash. It was for the light flash, the incredible flash of light that is brilliant. And they were on the right and left canopy, and you pulled them down. They just kind of fit up into place. You pulled them down like a shade, and it locked in place. And they on the outside, they were reflective aluminum material. In front of you, you had some black flaps that came up in front of you to block the front aspect of the aircraft. One of the only aircraft that could do this, because they could fly blindly at night or during the day for that matter without looking outside of the cockpit using the terrain following radar. So it did have blast curtains, that is correct. Statement echo. I thought I'd get a lot more people with this one. No, we had no VHF radio. A lot of airplanes had it. It would have been handy a couple of times, but not much. The UHF radio was actually just fine, and it was equipped with a tab quick, which was a frequency hopping classified dealie where we could talk and no one could really hear you. So the Soviets couldn't listen into conversations. Not that you talked, but you didn't have to. And you didn't on most missions after you started ingressing towards the target. So the VHF radio was false. Good going on that one. And the nuclear consent switch. Believe it or not, there was a nuclear consent switch because the right seater would set up all the weapons, have it ready to go, but you had to get one little toggle switch to be moved on the pilot side. And he probably had that already in consent even before he started the mission. But I could reach it from my side, so it didn't do much good. If you had a dead pilot and the Wizzo happened to be flying the jet and wanted to drop a bomb, you could reach over and get it, just like you could wing sweep and flap. So with that, answer F was true. Nuclear consent switch was absolutely true in the F-111E. during those nuclear flying days. Okay, this is K1BOB. I'm going to go to a 73 round, and I'm going to put out a net here and see if we can catch anybody else before we go to the 73 round. This is K1BOB. Any other late check-ins for the Air Force flyers, please come now. Nothing heard. W2WLD, would you give a call out, Bill?
We'll go. This is W2WLD, upstate New York, relaying for net control. Last call for check-ins for the Air Force's Flyers Club net. Call now. No, all quiet, Bob.
Yeah, ditto here. Thank you, Bill. And John, WA6LJS, would you please give a call?
Wilco, this is WA6LJS relaying for the Monday morning edition of the Air Force Flyers Club. We're looking for check-ins. Last call for check-ins. Either late members or visitors. Call now. Nothing heard on 2 STRs and locally, Bob.
Thank you, John. Ditto here on that. Well, let's go to the top of the list, and that would be Leon. And Leon, if you don't want to keep being on the top of the list, send me some funding. N5BE. Over to you, Lee.
K1BOB, N5BE. Well, Bob, I think a good question is one that makes you think. You learn something, and it's fun. And this one hit all of those. So yeah, I didn't think it had a VHF radio, so I don't know why you would need one. And in fact, our helicopters in the Army, initially the original configuration was just UHF only, and the helicopters after Vietnam that we got in the reserves, we all had backfitted VHF because we went into a lot of civilian fields as part of our daily operations. So with that, I say well done, Bob. And I'm looking down at the blood stains on my shack table here, where I banged my head on that 57th segment enunciator panel's question. I just want to let you know I've got it almost all sanded off. K1BOB and 5BE.
Okay. Well, are there any medics out there? We probably got a few. Very good on that, Lee. Yeah, you're first up. That's a tough spot we put Don in most days. And Don, I never saw Don come up today. So, okay. Well, we're going to move on. Thank you for that, Lee. And everything you do, starting the net logger up. Let's go up to Scotia, New York. Bill, I think you got two answers right there. There was, let's see, my answers were Bravo and Echo, so you got one right. Well, you get 50%, but on this curve, we'll push it over to a 60 and a passing score. You're up, Bill. Good morning.
Oh, great. Great question. Fun question. Enjoyed it, Bob. Thank you. 73 on K1BOB, W2WLD.
Okay, Bill. And the neat thing, well, we could put anything in those thermoses we wanted to. Maybe after you drop the bomb, you could have a couple of toasts on something. All right, Bill. Thanks for being there. Thank you very much for the help, sir. Well, next, let's go to John. He's been very helpful this morning. WA6LJS. You're up, John.
Okay, Bob. K1BOB, WA6LJS. Well, I don't know if you're hearing me. Well, I am coming in Utah SDR, and also a little bit on Lumpkin, Georgia. But I'm only hearing you on Utah, and you totally dropped out a local receiver here. Anyway, very good question. I don't think anybody got both of them right, so that's a great question. And I will say 73, and we'll be over to Echo Link for a few minutes after the net. K1BOB, WA6LJS.
Okay, John, thanks very much. Thanks for the reminder. We will be going over to Echo Link, where there's a few folks there already. We will be going over to the Echo Link ASFC node, if you have that. available to you. If you don't figure out how to get it, it's easy to do. You just have to be a ham radio operator. Licensed. Okay, next is W6WAY. That's Jim in Corona, and Jim got the answers right, plus a few more. You're up, Jim.
Okay. Let's see. Utah FCR2 just went out on me, so I'm not in very well here. I do have the K4YDB. The snow doesn't here, but there's a delay in that, so confusing here. Anyway, 10 degrees, everyone, and K4YDB, it's just W6WAY.
Frequencies in use.
W6WAY. I'll copy all that direct from you there, Jim. You're a good S6 here, good S6, perfectly copyable. Thanks for playing the game today with us. Glad to have you here always.
Yeah, Roger.
All right, we'll say 73 to Jim for now. Let's go to WB2JJO. I think you got some of those correct there. Let's see. Ray, you're up. Go ahead. 73 rounds, sir.
Okay, Bob, K1BOB from WB2JJO. Well, I'll tell you what, I guess C, D, and E, and the only one I got right, I think, was E. So I guess I got 30% on that one. But I'll tell you what, it was a good question. And you know, there's a lot of people that don't know what's inside those, what you call super jets that you guys flew. I will say one thing about this jet. This is very, other than being entertaining, it's very interesting too. It's very educational because, you know, there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't know, especially me. You know, being a Navy guy, I had no idea what was in the F-111. But trouble is, I can't tell you what was in our radio shack because it's still classified. So, Bob, thank you very much for doing it. This was a fun net. I appreciate it. And like I said, I got one right out of three. So back to you, sir. I'll probably catch you on that code. K1BOB, WB2JJO.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Raymond. Yeah, we try to share some of the experiences, some of the things, and what you can't share is how overwhelming it was the first time you get into that jet trying to learn everything. So you prioritize, you always prioritize, and don't keep your eyes off the ground too long, because some folks have gone in like that where the right seater wasn't paying attention in the radar scope or playing with all the knobs on the right. You always had to keep an eye on what the left seater was doing too, and was flying the airplane most of the time. All right, well, thank you, Ray, and good to have you as always. Next, let's go out to Las Cruces again, and scored a right answer on that one. WB5 ABI. Joe, you're up again. Okay, Joe, well, you found me out on that VHF radio. I really thought that was going to trick, well, I won't say trick. I thought a lot of people might get that wrong. But you guys found me out on that. I didn't believe it. I thought it very well could have had one when I got in it. But we found we did not need that VHF. The last time I used one of those was in a Cessna 152 or 172. Like somebody said, for small airfields, that sort of thing. Uncontrolled one, which I used to fly into a lot. Okay, let's go out to Charlie. Thank you very much for on the YouTube, Charlie. It really illustrates a lot, and people, when you have that up, people don't ask to repeat the question much at all. K4YDB. Thanks again, Charlie. You're up, sir.
K1BOB, K4YDB. Well, thank you for that, Bob. And thanks for running the net today. That was a fun question. I didn't get anything right on it, but that's okay. I'll know the next time you try to swing this question in here. Anyway, 7-3s, everybody. Everybody have a great day. And get ready to go out here and see if I can start drilling some holes and finishing up some wiring. It's K4YDB back to net.
Okay, Charlie. Well, you did. You got one over my Echo there. The VHS radio. I had you down for Charlie and Echo. So, no, you did. You got half of it. So, but very good. And we'll break with Charlie for now. Maybe we'll see you on Echo Link, Charlie. Let's go to KF7 GJO. KF7 GJO, Sparks, Nevada. Sparky, you're up, sir.
Roger that. Well, I finally went over to Georgia SCR and got a readable signal on you, Bob. So I guess I got half the question right. Under trying conditions this morning. Not much more to add. Great net. You did a good job. And, hey, we'll give this a try again tomorrow. 73s, everybody. Stay inside, stay cool, stay hydrated. K1BOB is KF7, DJO.
Okay, Carl, good advice. Stay hydrated, stay hydrated. Oh, that reminds me, I heard on the news this morning out here, Reno station there, that a motorcycle driver going up a place on the United States, Death Valley, died from the heat. I've ridden my motorcycle in Death Valley, but only when it's in the 80s. I would not dare do it when it's setting records out there of 120 or something. I think the record is 130 back in 1917, something like that. It was a record, all-time record for heat in the United States. With that nice note, we'll say thanks there. And you got that half of that right there. Oh, you got one answer right. Very good, Carl. Let's go to WB5 DRI in Texas, and you got Echo right. And got hung up on those glass curtains. I don't know why. Yep, they had to have them. K1BOB, over to you, Brian.
Okay, Bob, real fine. K1BOB, WB5DRI. Well, great net, as usual, Bob. Enjoyed the question, learned some things. I should have thought that nuclear mission would have provided the nuclear blast curtains there, but I guess I got the radio right anyway. But I'm surprised, like you, that they didn't have on the switch for the wings there some kind of a red line or some kind of a check caution light or something for that swing wing on the F-111, but I'm sure that was a really part of the training that was emphasized greatly, probably for every Stanival for that aircraft. You'd have to have that to make sure you didn't put it in a stall. Anyway, very interesting stuff, Bob. Thanks again for getting us all in there. Back to you, Bob. K1BOB, WB5DRI. Back to net. Everybody have a great day out there. 73s.
W5DRI. Very good, Brian. Good points there. Yeah, wing sweep was everything. It had to match the airspeed. Not exactly, of course. But if you had them all the way back, you better make sure you start bringing them forward when you go subsonic in the aircraft. And that's exactly what it was designed to do, was to escape supersonic. 400 miles worth of supersonic, which you could easily do, gas permitting, and how far you went in. One reason the F-111 was stationed in England is because you could easily go into Russia. You may not get home, but you could easily get most places in western Russia. Good point there. And yeah, the flash curtains weren't as much for your flash that you left behind you by a number of miles, and you were egressing from your own nuke. But it was for others that might be going off in front of you. Because you would have launched during the SIOP, the Strategic Integrated Operations Plan, which included missiles, bombers, and us. We probably would have been one of the first, but an ICBM might have beat us, and it could blow up nearby you hoped, and it was far enough away. It was supposed to be coordinated, but we never knew. God, we never knew.
Frequencies in use.
Yeah, this is K1BOB. John, you're up.
K1VOB, W78JN. Good question, Bob. Enjoyed it, even though I didn't get it all right, but I got one. Anyway, the radio. Anyway, good weather here, clear, and I guess it's about 60 miles visibility. But anyway, 7-3 to all the flyers out there. Make it a wonderful day. You're in charge of. Thanks so much, Bob. K1VOB, W78JN.
Very good, John. Yep, you found me out on that VHF. Well done. So W78JN, K1BOB, 73, John. Let's see, Willie, I think his answer, what was it? It was A, and that would have been wrong. Sorry, Willie. Sorry, Willie, if you're listening somewhere. Let's see, next on the list is our Vice Commander, W5OG. Good morning again, Dale. And yeah, you got the Alpha, the Echo answer correct, VHF. I would have thought everyone would know that. K1BOB, you're up, Dale.
Yeah, Bob, actually, the one that really bothered me was the, whatever one was the blast curtain. I should have known that. I watched Oppenheimer the other night, so I should have known about that blast curtain thing there, for sure. Good, interesting movie. And I did not have the amplifier on earlier, and I apologize about that. I did, one of the things you learn as a flight engineer is that every time you push a button or throw a switch, you check to make sure that it was in the proper position, and that something happened when you threw that switch. And I thought I'd pushed the button, but apparently you got to do it just right. Hold your tongue just right, and then the amp comes on when you're operating remote. Anyway, interesting question and good net. Fairly good conditions for me. I'm pretty much hearing everybody either through the Utah SDR or on the local radio, in spite of all the noise. So back to net. I'll be on Echolink just for a few minutes there, Bob. K1BOB, back to net, W5OG.
W5OG, K1BOB. Very good, Dale. Well, I was about to ask you if you had your amp on last time around. I kind of suspected that. I thought about turning your radio on and taking a look. Helping you. But you figured it out. Good. Much better. Okay. I'll see you on Echo, Dale. Let's leave W5OG there camping. Put the pup tent holding up. And say hi to, let's see, KG5CPE, James is listening, receive only, James, very good. Good day to you, sir. Let me try, Michael, K0MJZ, K0MJZ, are you there, Mike? Okay, Mike, I don't know, maybe you're listening and you can't talk. We understand. If you can put that in the remarks or something, that might be helpful. If you're still logged into the net logger, I don't know. Let's see, WX7 Lima, Art in Arizona. Art, yeah, good morning.
He checked out on the AIM window, I believe, Bob. WB5DRI.
Lima, Art, are you there?
Yeah, he's off on the AIM window.
John, did you hear him? I didn't get him.
He checked out on the AIM window, Bob.
I should have had that open, but I got enough stuff to look at. Thank you, Bill. Okay, let's try to get Clifford one more time. We weren't able to get you before, Cliff. See if you're up there. W5CIX. Cliff, are you up? Okay,
nothing heard on Clifford. I'm always here, Clifford. Let's try Rich. WB9 CST. WB9 CST.
Bob, I don't know if you're calling me, but if you are, I cannot hear you very well. But I will take my 7.3 at the beam pointed towards you. And thanks for letting me check in. I wasn't strong enough to hear the answers to the questions, but yeah, that's all right. Anyway, I'll be over on the Echo link waiting for you guys to swap over there, and I need to try and get in here a little earlier, but I'm not an early bird person, so I think I'll leave that to you guys. Anyway, have a good rest of the day, and I'll be on the Echo link waiting. WB9 CST.
Okay, I copied you, Rich, on the Lumpkin, Georgia repeater pretty well there. Thanks for joining us, Rich. I think we'll stick on Echo Prior on there. So WB9 Chicago style pieces there. Rich 73 for HF now. Let's try Decatur, Alabama again. Byron. Maybe Bill can help me. KN4 PHS. Are you there, Byron?
KN4 PHS, Byron, if you're still there, any final comments? Over. I think he left, Bob, because he was knocking me out of the chair. W2 WLD.
Yeah, I remember. I was getting it too. He went down for one time, and then, boy, when he came back after you called, he was real strong. Well, not real strong, but good. Okay, it's K4YDB. This is the conclusion of the Air Force Flyers Club Net. Have I missed anybody today? Have I missed anybody on our list? Or are there any late check-ins that would like to say hi before we close the net? One more time, any other late check-ins? Anyone that would like to join Air Force Flyers to say hi? Come now. Okay, nothing heard. This is K4YDB for the Air Force Flyers Club Net, relinquishing the frequency. And thanks all that participated. 73, K1, COB.